now semifinal number 2. There's a ton of pressure on both surfers. Mason Ho, teammates with Mick Fanning, has a chance to keep that title in Australia's hands. If Mason wins this heat, Mick Fanning will achieve his 4th world title. If De Souza wins this matchup, it goes to his first ever Pipe Masters final. He'll also clinch his first world title in 2015. Being the best through 3 challenging waves, the Hawaiian Pro back at Haleiwa, finishing the Vans World Cup at Sunset Beach, and now here at the Billabong Pipe Masters as he's into the final. First wave of semifinal number 2 goes to De Souza. He'll get shut down, and now Mason Ho will have priority.
Yeah, and who knows better than this guy to sit where to sit when the conditions are like this? Well, Mason Ho would have to be at the top of the list when it comes to tricky conditions out here. Joe, having a look at this one.
Looking towards back door. It's crumbly, might open up, and he decides to kick out. De Souza, 0.57. You can see the sense of urgency for Mason Ho to try to get first priority once again. He's got a pretty good head start, Bots.
Yeah, for this very moment, Adriano de Souza finds himself with the world title finally in his, like he can control this right now.
Having a look now is De Souza, going to turns to start. A little snap off the top, and he'll get out of there. 0.57. We talk about adapting to conditions. This happens sometimes at the Pipe Masters where early rounds are run in top to bottom spitting barrels. There's that one year where bead 1 is actually shifted down and off the wall. We didn't have a whole lot of swell to work with.
Deciding to sort of, have a few turns, go for a couple of maneuvers, put some scores on the board. Mason's going to be trying to look for the bombs and get barreled.
Now paddling in, the Hawaiian wild card. Mason Ho pulls in a back door, but pearls at the bottom. Snuck in under the hood and then ends up pearling that nose right at the bottom of the wave. Priority now is with De Souza, and Mason will get an incomplete score, and his board broke on the landing.
He's going to improvise. This guy's a gnarly competitor. He knows there's not a lot of tube rides out there. He's just going to surf.
De Souza's up. Not anything on offer on that right at back door, but he's got the lineup to himself. Mason now just got to the beach, and he's surrounded by a ton of local Groms. Mason's an absolute hero to all the local Hawaiians here.
Took down John at Margaret River in some challenging conditions. Let's have a look and see what happened here as Mason Ho pulls up into the barrel nice and tight. And as it closes out, that board just curls and he goes down. So tricky little wipeout right there from Mason Ho. Looks like he's on a bit of a smaller board, which might be good. Might sort of say to him, look, maybe go to maneuvers, maybe just try and get a couple of waves on your belt, do a few turns, put some scores on the board.
As we come back from break, you can see a heavy paddle battle going down for priority because both Mason and Adriano just came off a wave at back door. De Souza with his head down, trying to get awarded priority to control the next exchange. We'll follow this race from the sky pots.
Wow, well this is a bit of old school stuff. Let's see, De Souza takes off, pulls in, comes out nice and clean. There, a little bit of a chandelier. So that was Adriano de Souza using his priority, waited some time. Mason Ho slides in, grabs the rail, pulls himself up nice and tight. A little bit of a longer one, a little bit more difficult on the exit, and then kicks out. We've got a battle on our hands right now. Both guys about to drop, I think, in my opinion, very similar scores, Joe. I don't know, maybe a slight edge on Mason's wave, I'm not sure. A little bit more unruly, so this is going to be an interesting exchange right here. Waves coming through right now. De Souza with priority.
Making a move, De Souza. Couple of big pumps deep, but he's down. So that priorities changes to Mason. Mason Ho seeing a couple of lines out the back. Nothing favorable just yet. And numbers about to drop from the last exchange where they both went backdoor. Scores for Mason Ho, a 3.83. Scores for De Souza, a 4.0. Almost even on that last exchange.
Well, very similar waves. Obviously, De Souza just a little bit better. Sets coming through right now. Is Mason Ho in position? It's going to be a late drop from Mason Ho.
A big late takeoff, and Mason goes straight down to the bottom. Taking off inside the barrel. Trying to pull off a miracle. He ends up going down.
Did he need to do that, Joe? That was a virtually impossible wave to make right there. Let's have a look. Mason Ho takes off with that wave on his shoulders. and goes down awkwardly. Had he made that drop, though, it was still going to be a difficult barrel to pull off. Mason showing that he is not scared. That was so dangerous right there. You can tell he's just thrown his board under his feet, disconnects from the face of the wave, and goes down. While you're going down, Joe, you've got to make sure you take in the big breath, because that thing's going to hold you down for some time.
Oh, such a heavy experience for these guys. They love to get big barrels, but they know they're going to have big wipeouts. It's out of Fanning's hands. He's got to watch this heat unfold. If De Souza wins, De Souza takes his first world title. If De Souza goes down in this heat, Mick will win his fourth, and we're down to 10 minutes for the decision. Even though Mason went down on that wave, he's still out the back in time to regain first priority.
Normally, De Souza would be sitting literally on top of his opponent, just getting in his face. Small wave approaching right here. Let's see if Mason's going to roll the dice. Looks like he's going to paddle over. De Souza may have a look.
Now thinking about a smaller wave is De Souza. Going off the bottom, vertical snap in the pocket as he's gone to turns. Another little rip off the top through the wind. He'll pull it off. Little carve on the inside corner. And now looking to dry dock this thing. One more hack off the top. De Souza adapting to the conditions. We saw a 6.5 in the last heat for a full rotation air from Medina to make the final. De Souza on that wave looking to better a 1.2.
If it was a normal pipeline, I'd say no, but it's not. So you talk about adapting there. Beautiful turn. Just went to maneuvers. I think Adriano de Souza's backhand is lightning sharp. Just deciding to really change it up. Okay, there's no barrels out there. They're going to have to start scoring turns sooner or later. They did against Mick Fanning. Gabriel Medina did that big air rotation, dropped to 6.5 on the merit of his backhand turns there. Let's see what the judges think about that.
Judges making a decision on the backside turns. It's a 2.83. He counts that one in his top two. Now Mason needs a 3.01. Mason starting to move on his positioning. Remember, needs a 3.01. He looks very interested in heading back door. Sets up a beautiful takeoff. Stalls to start, one pump, but the barrel shuts down and nothing's left on the inside.
Oh my goodness.
He came down to losing to wild cards in tough moments. Guys like Dane Reynolds taking him out in Fiji. Under priority, Mason's having a look. Locks into the first section. It's a tight tube, and it sends him down to the bottom. One more wave out the back. De Souza looks like he wants it. Now setting up the end section tube, and he is going to fight his way out. He ends up going down as he's hung up a little bit. More tension in the air. Mason picking himself back up off the reef, and now the paddle for an important priority call. Since he only needs a 3.01, De Souza holding priority is going to look to close this one out, Potts.
Yep, looks like Mason Ho is going to go for it, Joe.
Late takeoff at back door and a mushy one. He just kicks out to create some space. We're down to the final minute.
Now he starts to realize it. He's keeping a close eye on Mason Ho, that's for sure. Doesn't look like anything's going to get here in time. And I think you're looking at your new world champion.
A big moment for all of Brazil. Still 15 seconds on the clock here to make it official. And now we are into the countdown. Adriano de Souza has priority, so he's going to close this one out by taking this wave. And now, hearing the horn sound, it is official. Adriano de Souza is the 2015 world champion. Fighting through obstacles his whole career, working on his weaknesses and turning into strengths, coming down to the line at the final event of the season, an event he has never reached the quarterfinals, takes out the world title, and now he'll be entering his first ever Pipe Masters final against Gabriel Medina.
Wow, Joe. There we go. That's the new world champion right there, Adriano de Souza. And there's the Brazilian, so passionate.
An absolute hero for all of the world of surfing. the leader of the Brazilian Storm. He wanted to be the first to do it, but he got more inspiration. When Medina clinched the world title last season, he came back even stronger. And all the Brazilians that flew out here have a clear reason to celebrate their world champion. Back-to-back titles for Brazil, and Adriano de Souza on top of the world.
Well, you got to feel for Mick. You know, it was a strange heat. Him and Medina. De Souza knew what he had to do, and heat by heat, he just plucked away. Did what he had to do, Joe. Took some crazy waves along the way. Adapted when the conditions changed. And the chaos that comes after.
The road to the final, he had crazy heat this morning with Josh Kerr. Almost got taken out. Proved himself on finals day. A huge clash with Hawaiian wildcard Mason Ho to make it official. You see someone with a goal as a young competitor and finally fulfill that dream. It's beyond special and emotional for all De Souza fans, his friends and family. Pots like yourself, it took you quite a few seasons to accomplish that world title, 8 to be clear.
Yeah, it's, you know what, it's kind of feels sweeter for some reason. You've done all the hard work, time in and time out, and made all the mistakes, dragged over the hot coals, got there but not quite. And then finally you learn, put all that stuff into play, and finally it clicks that 1 year where everything just comes together.
Big congrats from his friend who he stayed with, Jamie O'Brien, who gave him a place to stay right here on the beach of Pipeline. De Souza at each and every event, who had mentioned one name, Ricardo dos Santos, who gave him the inspiration to dig deep and surf to the best of his ability. Clinching the win at Margaret River, and Potsy's got a chance to get a second win of the season. Now it's a battle of 2 Brazilian world champs to decide the first Brazilian Pipe Master.
Oh my gosh. Brazil domination over the last couple of years. Back-to-back Brazilian world champions. Brazilian Triple Crown winner. And now Pipe Master. Pretty crazy.
Now let's send it to Rosie Hodge to talk to our world champion, Adriano de Souza.
Well, guys, it's like nothing I've ever experienced before. Well, Adriano de Souza, the second ever Brazilian world champ, clinching it in that heat, making it through to the final of the Pipeline Masters. There's so much emotion at the moment with these guys just celebrating this win. A lot of Brazilians here. And you just can see the emotion, and the whole country is pretty much riding on this result and so proud of him. So Adriano de Souza, for 9 long years, this has been your dream. This is what you've wanted for so long. You've spoken to us about the hard work. You must be so ecstatic and proud of yourself taking out your first world title.
It's incredible feeling. Special dedication to my good brother, Ricardo dos Santos. He's right at the top last my way. And I have this tattoo in memory of his life. And they say he has the same tattoo in the same spot, and they say strength, balance, and love. That's all I need this year to win this world title. And for the middle of the way of the title race, I thought Mick deserved it more than me. Like, he's such a strong man and 3-time world champion against like people fighting for your first one, you know, like, gosh. Like, I wish so much to give a hug at Mick's mom, but I was like kind of scary, like we on the world title race, you know, and I don't want to like mix it up, like feeling, but the day of my life's arrived. I don't know if I have like power enough to make the final against like the world champ, you know. He's a defendant, like, so I just, in my memory, all the time I see Gabriel give me the world title trophy in my hand. So, and we have a final together. So I don't know my approach out there, and I need to at least have a break and one Red Bull and back out there again.
Well, one final question. I mean, we have noticed, from Bill's when you had that emotion for Ricardo and all of that was, going back between yourself and Mick Fanning, every final that you guys had together. I mean, you just mentioned that energy and doing something for a purpose. Is that what's been driving you this whole time?
Man, when I lost in Portugal, and I was devastated, like so sad inside, and I looked to myself and say, that's the chance for the world title is going in my hands, Even Vasco served amazing. He's such a power guy, and he beat me that chance. He catched that chance, and Mick. This the only time we saw each other after that. He say, "Don't worry, Gian." And Pipe, we decide who is the champ. I look to him and say, "You have more chance than me." So, but I think all coming together. I'm dedication so much. James helping, Jason, Federico, all the boys at home right now here. And I want to dedication as well this world title to my brother. He gave me he bought my first surfboard for $7. And I'm the top of the world with $7, So I believe in that time for him, $7 is too much money. And he bought it, my first surfboard. So I want to say this in português. Eu queria agradecer muito a Deus por esse momento e dizer que eu sou muito abençoado por ele e pelo Ricardo lá em cima. Eu dedico esse troféu ao Ricardo dos Santos. Eu fiz uma homenagem para ele. Tá aqui ó, no meu punho para sempre. Eu vou carregar a alma dele junto comigo. E onde eu esteja, eu sei que ele vai estar junto comigo porque eu tinha muito respeito por ele aqui na Terra. Eu sei que ele está lá em cima. E outra coisa que eu me dedico muito a esse troféu de campeão do mundo ao meu irmão, que por R$30 ele comprou uma prancha de surf para mim. E na época eu sei que era muito dinheiro para ele comprar essa prancha. E hoje eu estou no topo do mundo por R$30. Então, muito obrigado, meu irmão. Eu te amo, eu amo toda a minha família. E eu não vejo a hora de ver vocês com esse troféu gigante na minha mão. Obrigado.
Adriano de Souza is your 2015 world champion. Take it away, boys.
Thank you.